The Isle Dev news just dropped. Quick recap of what's coming. New dinos, fixes, cool mechanics. And yes, the T-Rex is getting closer. Like the video, tell me what you're most hyped for, and let's go. Let's start with Ariel, who focused this month on new climbing mechanics. The Hypsilophodon will now be able to latch onto walls and jump between surfaces, but won't climb freely like the Herrerasaurus. The best part? It can spit while latched. So if another dino is climbing nearby, surprise attack. He also made changes so that charge jumps work smoothly with aim jumps using right click. Better vertical control, nice. As for the Herrerasaurus, it gets a visual upgrade. When latching to walls sideways, it will first go into a horizontal pose before climbing. That means much smoother and more natural animations. I love this because it gives both Herrera and Hypsi more style and utility. They're really starting to feel unique, don't you think? Ariel also fixed some bugs related to ceratopsians, especially with the new thrash changes. Triceratops now recovers faster from stagger, which used to be painfully slow. Bad news for the forest architects. Those crazy Hypsi nest builds won't be possible anymore. And finally, he's working on rebalancing Ceratosaurus's bacteria venom changes coming soon. Now to the sound department. Wedge has been working on adult Triceratops vocalizations. Almost all are done. Idle sounds, pain, eating, drinking, and even courtship calls, which are longer and more complex. The goal is to make the trike sound massive, heavy, and powerful as it should. He's also improved foliage sounds, tweaking them to scale based on dino size and speed. Volume, pitch, and attenuation now adapt dynamically, making forest movement sound more realistic and distinct for each creature. This is awesome sound really boosts immersion, especially when you're stalking or being hunted. It makes a huge difference. Visual Tech 48 has been working this month on one of the most anticipated areas, the labs. These new environments are now fully completed and ready to be implemented. They include all kinds of areas, an armory, offices, testing rooms, and more. He didn't want to spoil too much, but did share a top-down view of the highest floor, which shows just how huge this facility really is. I have a feeling we'll get lost in there more than once. He's also been updating the tunnels, doing minor fixes, and working on an infirmary that'll be revealed later on. I can't wait to explore those labs. If there's hidden lore or secret areas, it's gonna be wild. Tapwing brings something different this month. Plants that feel like they're straight out of a nightmare. He's been working on 2 new strain plant concepts. The first one is the Metallivore, designed to break down metallic and artificial objects. Inspired by the strangler fig, it ended up as a segmented ivy-like plant that creeps along the ground, wraps around metal structures, and corrodes them, leaving behind a kind of plant-made ghost of what once stood there. The second plant is even sneakier, the Mendes. Carnivorous and unpredictable, it can be helpful one moment and deadly the next. It's disguised to look like regular ivy, but uses cat's claw creeper as inspiration. Tiny claws run along its vine, turning it into living barbed wire that lashes out at any unsuspecting creature. The only warning? A strange flower that changes color right before it strikes. I love that they're adding dangerous flora. It makes the world feel more alive and more treacherous. Imagine dying just because you got too close to a pretty flower. Fred has been working alongside Marty on something we all love, new skins for our dinosaurs. Over the past few months, they've been designing patterns for many playable creatures, some familiar, others brand new. The goal is clear: to make them feel realistic while still looking unique and fun to customize. For now, they've only shared a few teasers and left it to us to guess which species they belong to. Can you tell which ones they are? I don't know about you, but when I see a cool new skin, I spend half an hour in the menu just testing combos. Brian has been busy with lots of little tasks this month. He's been fine-tuning the Austroraptor, making sure it's ready for implementation. He's also focused on Kentrosaurus locomotion, aiming to give it a bit more speed than the Stegosaurus, because we all know how quick those Stego players are. He's also been working on elder morphs for both the current roster and the upcoming creatures, adding more variety to the look of our dinos. And of course, crab walks are also on his list. I'm pretty excited about the faster Kentrosaurus. What do you think? Do you think it'll be the new survivor of the arenas? Hypno is about to release the final patch for Triceratops and the Horde, which will be the last before moving on to the Tyrannosaurus testing, and I know everyone's eagerly waiting for it. The QA team has been finding all sorts of bugs within the Horde, from map holes where players are getting stuck to attacks that knock players down without causing any damage. The good news is that this update is going to fix many of those issues and bring some much-needed performance improvements. On the other hand, Tyrannosaurus is progressing well and will soon be available for public testing. It's coming with a very interesting ambush speed mechanic. When the Tyrannosaurus runs, it gets a speed boost at the cost of stamina, which makes it a deadly hunter for anyone it sneaks up on. Plus, the crush ability will be brutal. If it hits smaller creatures, like the Dryosaurus, it'll slam them into the ground, instantly killing them. And if the target is bigger, like the Ceratosaurus, it will knock them down to maul them. This execution-style kill might even extend to other species. What I love most about this Tyrannosaurus update is how it's going to change hunting strategies. Who wouldn't want to see a T-Rex crushing its prey? It's going to be epic. Kissin' Kitten mentions that this month has been full of tweaks across the board, from animation changes to map adjustments and optimizations. While still working on the Horde, they're also focusing on other areas of the game. One of the most interesting developments is the Austroraptor, which has a very different look and feel compared to the others. There was a minor hierarchy issue, but it was quickly resolved. This dinosaur will be agile and has a lot of potential in the game. We also saw progress on the Hypsilophodon, which can now climb and spit while latched onto walls. Definitely a challenge for its enemies. The Pteranodon is still in the works, with new aerial and terrestrial animations to make flying and moving on the ground feel more fluid. As for the Kentrosaurus, it's ready to be released once the new additions are fully established. Lastly, the Baryonyx is nearing animation completion, becoming the most agile of the three Spinosaurids. There's also work being done on humans, elders, skins, and environmental models. What stands out the most to me is the Austroraptor. It has a completely different playstyle. I'm really curious to see how it performs on the map, especially with its agility. And that's it for this month's news. Let me know in the comments what caught your attention the most, and if you're liking where the game is headed. Stick around, more videos are coming your way soon.